Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from
Greetings, Exiles. Welcome back to the Rayclast News Network, your number one source of the weather in Rayclast. There have been many skill changes in the recent patch storm, but I will just go over the biggest ones I've seen. Due to Wildwood being on fire from the Magic Find Corporation, there has been a rise in terror attacks. Many Pathfinders are now throwing acid flasks with increased potency, chemically cauterizing their enemies. If you see someone with the green bottle, evacuate immediately. Ice Shot has been significantly buffed, so get prepared for additional cold weather in the Christmas season. However, Freeze as a whole has been made harder to chain multiple times. Gay conversion therapy is also starting to be looked down upon in the new Rayclast, leading to Electrocute being 25% harder to build up for lightning wielding skills. Skeleton Arsonists have gotten Osteoporosis, which has led to slightly fewer of them, lessening the dominance of minions in Rayclast. Various Sport Gems have also had number tweaks, and many bugs have been squashed due to the incoming cold weather. Thanks to some nasty weather clearing up, allowing more exiles to reach the endgame, the economy is booming in the softcore regions of Rayclast. Kind of. If you're at the top 1%, it's booming anyways. Divine Orbs have skyrocketed recently, going from 3 Exalts up to a whopping 67 Exalts in just a matter of days. This was caused from a few reasons, one of which is thanks to Magic Find. The rarity stat is very oppressive, and if you're not part of the rarity gang, you are making pennies compared to them. Even the difference from 0% and 100% is huge, and at least 100% feels mandatory. Then there are some exiles that are getting upwards of 600% increased rarity. This pigeonholes the different builds you'll see exiles wielding, even more so than just This pigeonholes the different builds you'll see exiles wielding, even more than just normal class balance. Here we can see the build diversity on day 15, researched in the field by our meteorologist, Sir Gog. As you can see, 75% of exiles on the top of the ladder are playing just 3 ascendancies. Majority of them are Stormweaver, then Invoker, and Deadeye. Divines are also being used to reroll the value of high-end uniques like Ingenuity, which would be the main thing giving them value. With PoE 2 not having as many robust league mechanics as PoE 1, it is much harder for a new exile to break into the middle-class economy. And PoE 1 is actually kind of a point of beauty about the game. No matter how weird or messed up the economy gets in a league, it is always within reach for an exile to farm their way up by targeting the proper mechanic, because everything has a use and a value. For example, if in PoE 1 divine values skyrocket to absurd levels, you can do Sanctum to get raw divines. If fossils become expensive in the main crafting mechanic, you can delve. In PoE 2, this is not really the case, as many of the drops are just raw drops and not many crafting options. So everything rises in price without any way for the new exile to easily break into the middle class. Another point about the economy, something I hoped we wouldn't see in the new Rayclast. Boss fights have once again become just a gamble in the softcore regions. Just like the last generation of Rayclast, I'd hope the boss would be actually difficult fights, having some kind of barrier to entry so people don't just go in and delete it instantly. But this is not the case, as we can see here. Player power is insanely high, leading to bosses being destroyed before they even get a chance to do anything. Due to this, it is not uncommon to somehow lose money from actually running the bosses if you don't get the good drop. I imagine in the hardcore regions of Rayclast, this is not the case, similar to PoE 1 due to there being a barrier to entry to the bosses, leading to it actually being a good incentive to do the bosses for big profit. However, the hardcore economy is a much smaller beast. There will be thousands of listings for divines in softcore and maybe 20 in hardcore, so it's different. On one positive point about the economy, the balance gods have reduced the gold price for respecking. This week has seen a few changes in the weather pattern due to recent winds blown in by the balance gods. A fog that was blanketed over the entire land has cleared, and now exiles are able to traverse the terrain more easily, fast traveling between checkpoints in an area once they have discovered them. This tends to make backtracking less painful while they are still in the campaign. However, once they actually reach the mapping regions, problem returns and the fog is back. No checkpoints in sight. Requiring exiles often make strenuous hikes back to where they have already been to clear the last rare monster of the map. Breach quakes have been dominating raid class over the last 2 weeks. Millions of otherworldly monsters just spewing out into the land and will continue to do so, but the density of the breaches seems to have gone a bit smaller, leading to a bit less breach monsters against raid class, although there is still a massive amount of them. The balancing gods have also made several other changes. The resistance penalty has been blown away from maps, removing it completely, helping exiles reach the mapping region smoothly. Chaos damage on monsters has also been blanket nerfed against raid class, as it was very oppressive and by far the most dangerous element. In the Sekima region, there has been a few balance changes, one being exile melee buffs have been applied, and some damage storms in the zones have been cleared. The balance gods are going to be feasting in the name of Chris Wilson nonstop until the holiday season is past, so I'd expect the weather to be relatively calm during this pyramid. You are probably safe from nerfs for a while. That is all on this week of the That is all on this week of the Ray Class Weather Report.